This is Vicki Gervicus at the Greater Gainesville Chamber of Commerce, and I'm the Director of Public Policy and Grassroots Engagement. And I'm delighted to welcome Mary Alford today. She is the incumbent for the Board of County Commissioners, District 1, and she is back on the campaign trail. So we're going to have a chat with her this morning and have her tell us all about the issues and why she's back on the trail. I will note everyone needs to be aware that we had a change in our voting policies, right? And so District 1 voters will be seeing Mary on their ballot. Am I right, Mary? I got that right?
That is correct. We are no longer at large, and so only folks in District 1 will be able to vote for me, but I do serve everyone in the county.
Absolutely. And we do have that as one of our amendments coming up, so we'll see how everyone feels about it after this election. But for this go round, that's the way it's going to be. So, all right, Mary, why don't you give us a little introduction, and then I've got 5 questions for you, and we'll have a good chat this morning.
Wonderful. Okay, thank you. Thank you so much for having me. I appreciate the opportunity. For those of you that haven't met me before, and I think I've met a lot of you, I was born and raised here in Alachua County. I went to P.K. Young High School, and then graduated from Santa Fe, and then eventually ended up with a couple of degrees from UF. So I've been a hometown girl all along. I married young, had 4 boys. 2 of them are engineers. 1 is a plumber. 1 of them lives here in Gainesville. I have 6 grandchildren, 3 cats, and a dog. So I'm pretty much your typical little family owner here. But after graduating my engineering degree, I worked in the utility industry for a good while, and then ended up opening my own architecture and engineering consulting firm, which I owned here in Gainesville for about 15 years. So I've been a small business owner. I understand the challenges and and joys that go along with being a small business owner. And as a commissioner here in Alachua County, I believe I've been a pretty business friendly commissioner, but I am a commissioner that looks for sustainability. And to me, sustainability means balancing the needs of the environment with the needs for equity and the means and the need for economic viability. So balancing those 3 things is important to me here in Alachua County. Oh, I also want to, say that I'm a proud graduate of Leadership Gainesville, which I think is one of the top programs that our chamber offers. So I was, I believe, LG 41, and I was in the blue group. So I'll wave to all you other blue folks out there.
After Eric Goday's heart, because our CEO is also a blue, and he will not miss a chance to tell you.
No, it was a great group. I made lifelong friends in that program, and I truly appreciate that, something that the chamber offers. So with that short background, I think I'm ready to take some questions.
Terrific. All right. Well, let's start with the first one, which is, what is the role of the Board of County Commissioners in the community?
The role. Okay. Well, that's actually one of my favorite questions.
Great.
I believe that first and foremost, our role is to spend taxpayer money in a responsible way to maintain the health, safety, and welfare of Alachua County citizens. That's a real simple and short answer, but those 3 words, health, safety, and welfare, and as well as budget, those things all encompass really large and important roles. So I can talk about those things for a brief few minutes, but balancing the budget, I'm pleased to say that we've announced our budget for the 24-25 budget year, and we'll be able to put $44 million into roads this coming year. We're going to be able to give all of our employees in Alachua County, and we are one of the largest employers, a 6% raise, and we're going to raise our minimum wage in the county from $17 to $18 an hour. We're also embarking on 3 major buildings. We've got the civil courthouse coming up. We've got our new emergency management fire rescue building that's being remodeled in the old armory building. And we have our new shelter, which will be animal shelter that will be starting, animal services, I guess I'm supposed to say these days, that's going to be starting this coming year. So to be able to have all of that happening and to say that we've got a strong fiscally conservative, really, county, I'm pleased about that, and I feel good about that. Health, safety, and welfare, I can talk about those three, but I have a feeling I'll be able to talk about those during the coming questions.
Okay, yes, I think so, because that's the perfect segue into our next question, which is, what would be your top priorities and projects if you're reelected?
Top priorities and projects. Well, you can't live in Alachua County and not know that we have a real problem with housing. Affordable housing and just in general, workforce housing. Housing in general is a challenge for many of our citizens. 20% of our citizens are at risk for losing their housing. That is an incredibly huge number. And that is a number that affects every business and every segment of our county. You cannot walk down the street without seeing that we have a lot of folks that are without housing here in our community. And so these are things that I've been working hard on. One of my first initiatives in the county was to create an affordable housing project that where the county provides up to $15,000 for a rental unit to do energy efficient upgrades. And then in exchange for that money, then that rental unit must be made available for affordable housing for a period of time after that. That program has been very successful. We just took it out of pilot and it's going into regular production. So if you're an owner of rental property, that's something that I hope you avail yourself of if you're willing to make that property in affordable housing. We're also adding about 100 units of deeply affordable housing. 2/3 of those will be in hotels that we purchased on South 13th Street. And another third are going to be housing units that are made from shipping containers, which was another initiative of mine that I'm quite excited about, utilizing locally owned small businesses here in Alachua County to create those shipping container housing. Also, I guess, takes me to one of my other things that's a priority, and that's jobs and job training and apprenticeships. I've really appreciated the Chamber's support and all of those things. We're working with Santa Fe and CareerSource to identify areas where these apprenticeships and these job trainings are super important, and focusing our effort on those. One of those flagship things would be the large diesel mechanics that training program we're doing with Santa Fe, which will help support the new Army facility there at the old fairgrounds across from the jail and next to the airport. We're very excited about these high-paying jobs that will be entry level for some lucky young folks here in Alachua County. Gosh, let's see. That actually brings me to one other of the things that I'm very enthusiastic about, and that's working on literacy here in Alachua County. We have an incredible problem, not just with school children that have literacy issues, but adults as well. And this is an effort that the county has proposed to spend a lot of time and effort on in the coming years, supporting both our school board and our Children's Trust and other community partners. One of the things I would like to do is identify women when they're at childbearing while they're pregnant that have literacy issues, because it's an ideal time to help someone get the training that they need so that when their baby's born, they're able to, for instance, read the back of a Tylenol bottle. That's an incredibly important issue. So those are three of the many things I'm excited about here in Alachua County. I'll probably dig into some more when you ask some more questions, but.
All right, terrific. All right, and you've touched upon this a little bit in your opening and with your things, but our next opportunity to discuss is, what particular skills and experiences will you bring to the office?
Wow, now that's an interesting question. As someone that got married young, got divorced young, and was uh, sometimes worked, 3 jobs in order to put myself through school, take care of kids. I've had a wide range of just real jobs. I've done everything from, working in pharmacies. I've done some construction type work. I've done bookkeeping and for an accountant. I've served subpoenas. I've done proofread depositions. I've just done a little bit of everything. But what I've spent most of my time doing is being an environmental engineer. And engineering is an amazing field. It allows you the opportunity to manage projects, to manage people, to protect the environment, to do research. And I've done all of those. Working in managing a power plant, managing people there. That was gave me great insight into everything from the power of diversity in our workplace to the importance of good leadership skills. Then owning my own business and learning, and owning my business through the downturn in the economy in 2008, 2009, 2010 gave me a great appreciation for resiliency in business and learning to be frugal, but taking care of the important things like people. And so I feel like I bring those skills to the table. So and Jen, just of course, my environmental background in general, I think is really useful to Alachua County, where we work really hard to do things like pass the wild spaces, public places, sales tax, where we put land into conservation. So as we make those decisions about what land we put into conservation and what whether or not we look at, for instance, farmland into conservation, I feel like, sorry, I have a kitten and my kitten is doing a thing. So
Yes.
give me a second while I try to retrieve him.
Mary and I were talking before we got on camera that there is nothing a cat likes more than a keyboard.
Yeah,
and especially when you're on it.
Right. But anyway, hopefully he'll stay over there. His name's Sunshine because he likes to sit on my shoulder, which he'll probably show up again. I lost my train of thought there.
Yes,
but,
you were saying about being an environmental engineer and that how
right.
important it is to balance in our county.
Right. And so, and owning my own business where I focused on sustainability gave me a real appreciation for balancing things like, we can build the greenest building out there, but if people can't afford to live in it, then it doesn't make any difference at all. So, balancing the needs of people with the needs of, with the needs of our economy, with the needs of the environments, I think is, I think that matches up pretty well with, what the people here in Alachua County value.
Very much. Now, I remind everyone that none of the candidates got the questions beforehand. All of them get them cold. But this next question is funny because Mary has touched on this a little bit, but we're going to delve into it maybe a little bit more. Despite our county's many positives, we are still plagued by inequality in incomes, housing, and educational attainment in particular. What ideas do you bring to the table for these?
Oh, well, that is such a big topic. And there's so many things in there that that I care about. One big thing that golly, I want to just break that down, right? Like when you talk about inequality, there's these social determinants of equity that we fight all the time. And those are things like, our income, our access to education, where we live, where we grew up, whether, what kind of family opportunities that we have. We have such a diversity here in Alachua County for all of those things. And frankly, we also live in a county that one of our largest employers is still one of our lowest paying jobs, and I know the University of Florida is often a very good partner in many things that we do, but we really need to have them think hard about the partnership that they bring to the community in terms of income levels and how their choices, affect things like availability of space for affordable housing and where that housing is located, transportation choices, and having transportation available. If you're making $11 an hour and you have to pay $400 or more a semester to find a place to park, that's not in your budget, So it's imperative to have the support of the university in things like transportation, public transportation. And in many communities, universities assist in projects for affordable housing and in projects for transportation. So this really wasn't where I was planning to go with this question, but I think it bears to bring up that we need to work hard to be a partner with UF to see if we can partner to make some of these positive changes in our community and raise the standard of living for more folks. We have 60,000 people a day that commute into Alachua County. It's because they can't afford to live here. They're primarily living in Gilchrist and Levy counties. And I sit on the Regional Planning Council, and we just saw I think it's 20,000 residents coming to the Chiefland area in the next few years. Mm-hmm. Those people aren't working in Chiefland. Those people are going to be commuting to Alachua County. Mm-hmm. So when we think about equity, we need to think about, if we think about sustainability, we need to think about where all these people are coming from and where they're leaving Alachua County to go to these places, because we need to have more places that are sustainable and affordable for folks here. So all that being said, let me gather my thoughts again here from more of a big picture perspective to think about all the little things that affect that. And I've talked about literacy, something that we need to focus on here. Another big problem is our jails. We have, I think I calculated it, the percentage of Alachua County residents that have been in our jail in the last year, and it's high. Mm-hmm. Over 800 people are sitting in our jail right now. Many of them have mental health issues. Many of them don't have housing. Many of them won't have housing when they leave our Alachua County jail system. We need to plan for that. We need to understand when we put people into our prisons and jail systems that when they come out, they're going to need help and support. And this is a place where I think businesses can really become partners with Alachua County in providing employment opportunities and thinking about what kind of references people need for housing, giving folks a chance to get better and to be better people. And that's, not even taking into account the fact that most of the people sitting in our jail haven't even been convicted yet. Mm-hmm. We've got youth violence to think about, how much of our youth violence stems from, number one, literacy issues, because a kid would much rather get in trouble than be embarrassed for not knowing something. And how much of that is from the fact that we have over 1,000 students in our schools that don't have a home to go to when they leave school every day. They're sleeping in a car, they're sleeping on the floor of their auntie's house, they're sharing a house with mom's ex-boyfriend or some other thing. And there's just, it's terrible. It's terrible out there. So these are all things that Alachua County is working on. We're working on housing, we're working on recidivism, we're working on programs for jobs and to help people find their way when they get lost. And these are all opportunities, I believe, for the business community in Alachua County to partner and help us solve these problems for the good of everybody.
Very good. Okay, the last question I have for you is what has, in your case, what has prompted you to run for re-election for a seat on the county commission?
Wow, this is the learning curve on this job is steep and it's high. I feel like I hit the ground running when I first was elected 4 years ago, but one of the hardest things to learn as a commissioner is how slow it takes to get a good project up and running. So I mentioned, for instance, my affordable housing project that just came out of pilot and has gone into full action. And here it is, 3 years later when that happens. There are so many things that I still hope to work on in Alachua County. Mental health issues being a big one. We're opening so many of the projects that we've started in this commission are just starting to come to fruition. The partnership with Meridian for a place when folks are picked up that might have mental health, drug, or alcohol issues. They won't be taking them straight to the jail most times anymore. They'll be taking them to this new place at Meridian where they can be evaluated, de-escalated, and to see if jail is the right place for them, or if they need to have other support services, or they need to be admitted into a mental health care facility instead of in the jail. I'm hoping that will lower our jail population, but that's going to create, more pressure for additional housing for these folks, right? So there's more problems to solve. So while we might have solved the mental health issue, we've created another issue in solving that housing problem that's going to go along with that. And speaking of the jail, we're going to have to start thinking in the next 8 years about what we're going to do to replace that. And probably our sheriff's department. And these are things that are funded by the county. So, starting to work to make the places that are going to be the best for our citizens, that are going to meet our goals for lowering recidivism. That's not the kind of jail that we have now, right? It's going to be a different kind of a place. And so those are the kind of things that I want to have a seat at the table at, so that we can make good, strong decisions for our county, that we can make educated decisions, with respect to sustainability, with respect to the environment, with respect to equity, and with respect to economics.
Very good. All right. Well, we have a couple short minutes left, and now I'm going to throw the floor to you. If there was anything else we didn't cover that you wanted to say, this is your opportunity, or you can just bring us home and close us out.
I think I'll probably just do that. I had a list of things that I wanted to talk about, and I think I hit on every one. Probably the one thing that I don't think that we talked about very much was the, again, thanking everyone for supporting the Wild Spaces Public Places tax initiative that is allowing us to not only put good, important, environmentally sensitive lands into conservation, but we're now looking at including farmland in that initiative, right? And so I'm a 6th, 7th generation Floridian here, and my family depended on the soil and water of the state, to make their living. And preserving farmland not only preserves sources of food here locally, but it also conserves soil and water, and reduces things like heat island effects from cities, like so many things. And it's not that we don't want development in Alachua County. We just want smart development in Alachua County. And we want to be able to save the green spaces and other farmlands and other things that are important to our long-term viability here. So I appreciate the voters supporting that, and I look forward to all the other benefits of the Wild Spaces Public Places dollars. Oh, and I should mention, I want to thank the small town, sorry, in Alachua County. We are partnering with them to do many projects in each of their cities. Everything from parks to civic buildings to water supply. So it's really opened up opportunities for the small towns as well. And of course, that $44 million we're putting into roads. We revamped our road program, so those roads are going out further into the county and in a lot of these small towns. So we're not just focusing on the roads that are in the immediate vicinity of Gainesville, as we did historically. And mine I mentioned, I'm very proud. One of my other initiatives was to get this commission and this Metropolitan Regional Planning Council to be the one to finally support the 4-laning of Archer Road. And so that's going to be happening. It's going to be one of the things the governor didn't veto was the phase 1 of that 4-laning of Archer Road. So that will be going forward in this year's state budget and with the support of this commission and this Metropolitan Regional Planning Council. So, or planning organization. So thank you all for that. It's really showing up. So I'd really like to thank the small communities here in Alachua County for their support, and I look forward to all the partnerships that we're working towards to bring great things to the citizens that are in our outlying communities, which really support all of us. And yeah, and hope that you'll all call me if you have any issues. I've always got my cell phone is available to anyone. My number is 352-810-1731. My email address is malford, MALFORD, @alachuacounty.us. So I've prided myself on making myself available anytime. And if you don't get me right away, I will call you back. So I hope that you'll I have your vote for this coming election, and thank you for listening to my thoughts and views on things.
Thanks so much for joining us, Mary. And I wanted to follow up and just say that the Greater Gainesville Chamber really wants you to make your voice heard. And one of the best ways to do that is to get out and vote. And the primary is going to be upon us in the blink of an eye, Tuesday, August 20th. So be prepared so that you can get out and again, make your voice heard. Thanks again, Mary, so much, and good luck on the rest of the campaign trail.
Thank you so much too. Yes, take good care.
Thanks so
Bye-bye.
much. Bye now.